Hi. Today the main topic is what is a design system. Actually, what is a design system? Mm, I don't think we can just make it make the one sentence to describe what is the design system, but I believe is the design system. It's just kind of software or the system, or seems like software, and they makes makes our product into into some kind of characteristics, and that enables us to make some kind of beautiful website based on our competitive characteristics. For example, if you look at the how Netflix website looks like, they made their own theme, right? Like black or red, those kind of thing. So that is actually their own design system. Even their font and their site is really um, there is a principle of using that, and I call this kind of design system. So we learn about the design system. I just talk about what is design system, but how Netflix really did it and how big corporate do it is really, I think, really big issue of it. So how Netflix did it? They first in they first split into two phases of the making the design system. First is the creating the design language. And next is implementation phase. So they create their own design language, the name of their variables, those kind of things, and they implement it. And this really seems like really simple, but it is not. So I'm just gonna elaborate the aspects of their design systems. In the Netflix, there are four aspects. The first is using storybook to document the component, and second is check any issue using Slack or those kind of tool of it, and third, they demonstrate their design system is useful or not to other, and they get feedback from other team on it, and they bootstrap those features on it. And these are four key aspects of it, and but the thing is that basically this aspect is really important. I also believe that these four aspects is really important. But the thing is that this content is really from 2021. Now it's 2025, and I also believe that things so may change. Even technology of design system is changed. Thanks to code component or code component in the framework UI and code coding in the Figma, we can actually we don't have to demonstrate into some kind of the other team, and we can just bootstrap the features and we can just get a feedback on it. And those kind of code connect thing is when the designer trying to make some kind of a design into their tool, example Figma, we can just grab the code of it and we can just copy paste it, and after that we can just only put the business logic on it. So which means that the really well designed design system make us to reduce the communication between designer and the front end engineer. So what do you mean by that? If you look at the Figma Connect, there's if you so example, the designer just put the button component, but with some kind of styles. Example, Netflix use some kind of red with the black mixed color, right? And this button has some kind of style uh, based on some kind of state. What do you mean state? Like the button click on button hover, and I call this kind of characteristic of the button. But this button is actually the front-end engineer's code. Not front-end engineer's code. It's just the React or Angular code. So what we have to do is we can just look at the plugin of the Figma or Framer, and we can just copy paste this button component, and we can just implement business logic. That is really amazing because that requires the pixel difference. Example, designer gave you some kind of fancy website design and you have to implement it, but I believe that there's so many communication costs on each other because this design is not really seems like the real website, or the front end engineer's implementation is not exactly same as the designers the drawing. There could be some kind of mismatch with the pixels, some of those kind of thing. But when you're trying to use code component or code coding, this kind of trouble is gonna be solved, and that's really important. So, but the thing is that if you're trying to learn about some kind of design system, you're eventually gonna be really tired, really hard, because the design system is really big system, and you have to collaborate with the designer. If you don't have a designer, and you are like start off, don't have a designer and trying to make a design system, that will be really harsh. And if you're just the engineer who want to make a design system, that will be more harsh because Figma really gonna support you. You have to subscribe or increase the plan to the organization or enterprise, but our front-end engineer in the video cannot subscribe into those kind of plan because only the one who has the corporate email could make that plan, but you cannot. So that is why design system there's kind of big learning curve on it. And also the reason why, in the engineer's view, the reason why the design system is harsh is because you don't really have background of the design system in terms of engineering. So how to implement design system is really another problem when we're trying to deal with it. If you're a front engineer, you might know about atomic design. So atomic design is basically splitting your big company into some kind of small components that gonna be reusable. Example, there's atomic component, and there's molecules component, and there's organisms component, and also there's template components, and after that you eventually make the page component. And this page component of course consists with the atomic molecules or organisms or templates. So just basically there's a huge beautiful page, but making it to some kind of small component like atomic molecules or organisms could make it kind of reusable when you're trying to make some kind of similar page with this page. So that is why the atomic design system is kind of be useful for the some kind of aspect of reusability. But the thing is that the design system is here. To make a design system, you have to make about design tokens. And design tokens is some kind like kind of component. It seems like variables component. It seems like here but before the atomic component. So let me just recover that. In the atomic design, it's basically splitting in your big page component into reusable based on the steps on it. But the thing is that if you look at how the design system works, it's like similar to atomic design, but there's more of it, more of some kind of specification on it, more of some kind of variables on it, and with the more important thing is that need to associate with your corporate design. The Netflix has red and black theme, or some kind of Google has some kind of white theme or those kind of thing, And Shopify has green and white theme, and they use these design tokens to construct a page. So that is why design system is kind of hard, because you have to know about this atomic design system, and after that you have to know about design tokens, and moreover, there's there's kind of big principle to name about design tokens. Before making a design token, you have to make some kind of variables about your design system. Example, your background color should be red, your color should be white. You have to make it variables into some kind of data and putting it into one tokens or a lot of tokens that can be used using and so eventually it will make some kind of atomic component, which could be button. Example, you have a button. This button is actually this atomic component. It's really small and tiny, and we can just reuse it. And also the thing is that, but if you look at closely, there's so many things in the button. The color of it, and the background color of it, and font family on it, and state on it, hover, and disabled state on it, and there's a lot of things, and you have to make it as a tokens to make this kind of button. And I really also believe that design system is just a bunch of the principles with your own tokens, and that is why it is really hard, because that has to be to make this kind of tokens. You have to know about some kind of colors and those kind of things, and that has to be communicated with your designer, because you are an engineer. You can some kind of make this some kind of fancy design, right? So this is it. So today was just kind of abstraction of what is this design system or not. So I think it will help you. But next video I'm just gonna elaborate how to name this kind of token. What is design tokens and those kind of things. So this is it. Have a nice day and see you next time. Bye bye.